Welcome to another Cash Flow Company video. Today we're talking to a friend of mine, Alex. Alex, what are we going to go over today?
So first off, thank you so much for having me, Mike. I am so excited to be here today. I love everything that you do, that Cash Flow Company does. And today, after all of our conversations, we've really been stewing into what are real estate professionals and all of the ancillary companies and different supporting industries struggling with these days as we're dealing with this current economy and all of the things financial. So what I'm hoping we can talk about is how to leverage business credit instead of personal. Because I think so many of the people that we're talking to, both of us on a day-to-day basis, are putting things on their personal credit that maybe isn't working for them just as efficiently as it could.
That's very true. I mean, I just was speaking to someone last week when we met a client of mine, and it's just like 70 to 80% of our clients. He's on 8 projects. He's maxed out on his personal credit, looking to buy a truck, and guess what happens? His credit score goes down. It messes them all up. So I do, and I've always gone through and thought about this, is like, we need to make this more professional, more business, so the personal side is not impacted by the business side. So how do we do that?
Well, I think that that's just the first thing, is even acknowledging that we have a business. How many of the people that we're talking about, even though they are business owners, don't necessarily know or call themselves an entrepreneur? Let's talk about realtors. Let's talk about people in the trades, plumbers, electricians, people in flooring, people in renovation, all the contractors, the general contractors. Many of them still consider themselves to be employees because there's an overriding company. They don't necessarily look at the piece of they're getting a 1099, they're getting a check. They are their own company and they are the brand.
Correct. And another part of that, when I think about that, it's like taking it off their personal credit is good for the credit score, but it's also, as you build this business corporate credit, it takes it off of you being personally liable for most of it. And as you grow, you could actually get off all the PGs and build it into a real business that stands on its own.
And a PG, to clarify, is a personal guarantee.
Perfect.
So we want to make sure that we are also talking through that. Now, where else is there a major problem with this specific topic that we're discussing? And that is social media, right? One of the things that you pride yourself on is the fact that you get to look at things as a human. One of the things I pride myself on is that I'm goal-centric. How do we figure out how to get to the end goal? By figuring out where you're actually at as an individual, not as this big company or whatever else. And the majority of the content and the information around all of what we're going to talk about today is going to be on TikTok. It's going to be on Twitter. It's going to be on Reels. It's going to be these little short form things that, even though not all of it is bad information, it's not always complete information. So let's make sure that you and I are really bringing it full circle.
In working with real estate investors, realtors, and contractors, a lot of it is, you brought it up, is we love to work human to human. It's that whole connection of how do we make them better as a person, as a company, because they're individuals, they're unique, and they don't all need the same box. They maybe just need a little tweak here, a little tweak there. A lot of this is just fixing a few things and getting you on the right path.
Absolutely. So let's start with, what does that really look like? And what are we talking about? Like, what are some of the types of credit? What are some of the types of debt that maybe a lot of these business owners that truly are entrepreneurs and business owners are putting on themselves that maybe shouldn't be on their personal stuff? So let's talk realtors for conversation's sake. Does that sound good?
Oh yeah, we're all part of the same team.
How many realtors are putting their open houses, all of their marketing, the listing photos, their materials, staging, all of that on a personal credit card? I think the majority.
I would think the majority of small business owners across the board, I always say 70 to 80%, it's probably even higher than that we see, have something on or all of it on their personal credit. And you're talking about realtors. How about contractors? Gas. How about Home Depot? How about even their cars, their trucks? And it's all under their personal name instead of under. They may have a business name on the side, but it's on their personal credit.
I love that you brought up vehicles, because this goes even further than just the credit. It's also eligibility. And the big thing about that is leverage. What does leverage really look like? We hear that term and we hear that vocabulary, and we don't really know what that applies to each of us as individuals. So when I say leverage, it's how much are we eligible for and what does it look like on paper? The great thing about being self-employed is we get to write all this stuff off. I mean, we'll do the little disclaimer. I'm not a certified tax professional. Any tax advice I give you or possibly state here today, please verify with a certified tax professional before taking to be fact. That being said, is we have all this stuff that we do for that benefit. And then we make this silly choice to go ahead and put our vehicle in our personal name that we're taking a tax write-off on. Well, coming from the mortgage side, I'm sure you can speak to this way more efficiently than I can, is if somebody's taking a tax deduction for their vehicle and then actually putting it on their personal credit, you're hitting them twice.
It just makes it hard. It just makes it, even if they pay it through their business, it's just another step. It's just more work. These people need less work. They just need things to be a little bit easier. And to make it easier, they just need to take these few steps.